back to another live stream of D&D, Scourge of the Sword Coast. This is part 4 of our playthrough of the Scourge of the Sword Coast Encounter Season and Adventure. We're using the next edition of Dungeons & Dragons coming out this summer. And just a little warning, we may use adult language, so consider yourself warned. With me today, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves, starting with you.
Tom Olson, designer on D&D Digital.
Mike Merles, I'm the senior manager for the R&D team.
Dan Jellin, art director.
And I'm Greg Bilson. I'm a D&D producer, and I will be the dungeon master today. We'll jump right in. So when we last left off, several weeks ago, hazy in all of our memories, the characters had journeyed to Daggerford, seeking opportunities for adventure, and had learned that there was trouble afoot in the form of gnolls and goblins raiding the countryside. Many refugees had come to Daggerford, and following a lead, you headed for a small town called Jolkoon, accompanying a dwarf named Jek. Jek continued on his way while you turned to the south and discovered that all was not well in Jolkoon. Specifically that the town appears to have been taken over by goblins and hobgoblins, its citizens imprisoned somewhere, and you learned through the help of a dryad named Oifanen that
And a goblin scout.
And a goblin scout who you charmed. That they
killed.
Naturally. Town had been barricaded. So you went about seeking a surreptitious way in to the fort, found a covered bridge after alarming all of the fort to your presence. Were able to sneak in through this covered bridge and basically bypass the entire dungeon. No. You found, in fact, that there was a hideout of goblins stashed away under this hill near the back of the town, and proceeded to slaughter them. When we left off, you were in the middle of combat. You had just defeated 12 goblins, and a goblin clad in shamanistic clothing had started walking down the corridor to the east. There was a crimson glow to its eyes, and it had called out in Goblin, "Die!" And let's roll initiative.
Level 2, right?
Yes. Oh, you missed the part where I told you guys to level up to 8 to face this threat. This game uses dice, that's right.
Greg, where's that DM screen from? I forget.
This is actually a 4th edition DM screen. It was the second of the 4th edition DM screens that we did.
Thanks,
So the Goblin Shaman is at 10. Starless.
13.
And just a reminder for everybody, or those who are joining us new, Starless is a wood elf druid. Tarmiel.
8.
Mike's playing a tiefling warlock. And Button Waddle.
15.
And Dan is a... Sorry, what was yours?
13.
Wait, did you say 15?
No, you are correct. You have
Okay.
everything right.
And Dan is playing Button Waddle, a halfling barbarian with an affinity for food.
Halfling hoarder. Glutton.
All right.
Whirling it away.
So you guys were kind of in the middle of the room, had just finished killing several of the other goblins when down the hall, about 40 feet, appears this other goblin. And Button Waddle. I should mention we are lacking Matt Cernet today, so his character will be on Robo duty. Button Waddle.
Alright, I am going to move as far as I can to the shaman. Then in each hand I'm whipping out 2 of my throwing axes from my bandolier of throwing axes and whipping them down the hallway.
Okay, what's your passive perception before you start hacking at this guy.
11.
11. So as you start to make your way, this is a well here, and there's some beds along the side of the room. Making your way about to here, which is about 30 feet.
Actually, I just noticed I'm trained in perception. Does that give me a bonus?
Yeah, +2.
Yeah, +2. Then in that case, you notice something slithering under one of the beds as you are about to pass by them.
It's Jojo the Goblin Boy.
Do you want to continue toward the goblin
The
shaman?
boogeyman. He's
Sadly,
coming
my character is seeing red right now, and he just wants that little goblin shaman thing.
The red-eyed goblin?
Okay. What's your speed?
My speed is going to be pretty slow. It is
25.
25.
Okay. So you can either hustle to or dash to get to the goblin shaman and not get to attack, or you can proceed up and throw one of your axes.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to just saunter up and throw it on my axes.
Okay.
Casually stroll.
So when you get close enough to throw it, one of these vipers from underneath the bed is going to strike out at you. You can still throw your axe though.
All right.
Grant, do it. Yes! That's management skill, right? Like, you should crit that. Felt that.
Mike
that-
has
Goals for the year.
Yeah, just
Crit
set it
on
in.
this.
Just kind of set the bar high. Encourage people.
All right.
So I rolled damage twice in 5th edition?
Yep.
Yep. And you only add your modifiers once.
Once.
Yep. Numbers.
9 points.
All right.
Take it.
The axe hits this goblin shaman, and it howls in pain, and you can see that its eyes blaze unnaturally as it howls, and it kind of gets this infernal sound to it as it cries out,
It's going to be worth a viper bite, let me tell you.
and begins to chatter back to you in a language I don't think that you have. What languages do you know?
Common, halfling, and infernal. No, just common and halfling.
Yeah, you're. Yeah. Do you have infernal?
I have Infernal, of course.
It says something to the effect of, "My master and I will devour you." And the ass.
I actually put Jack the Dwarf somehow in my languages, so I speak Common, Infernal, and Jack the Dwarf. Speak his language. I can really relate to it. I mean, I'm like, oh, Jack.
Empathy. Dwarven empathy. The ass strikes out at you for 17 against AC.
Oh, it hits.
And this was for moving by it, so you've actually moved properly into that room. And that's going to be 4. 3 points of piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw from you.
Let's see if this works again. Make that saving throw.
Oh, he made it. He just didn't succeed at it.
That's right. That's right.
It
More
is
specific.
editorial humor there.
Well, actually, my constitution's high, 9. Still not going to do it.
It's not going to do it. All right, you are going to take a whole load of poison damage. 9 points of poison damage.
Great Caesar's ghost.
And now the asp has moved out, and you guys can all see that there's sort of this slithering form around there. Buttonwater, you've moved around the well.
Where are we at hit point wise?
You should be. You
Whatever's
yeah,
on
you
your
should.
character sheet.
That looks right.
Yeah,
you
I
got it
think
a couple
I'm-
times.
Just
Oh, actually, I'm pulling halfling shenanigans.
Oh.
I have resilience, which means I have advantage on poison saving throws.
Sure you're not a
That's
dwarf?
this. That might be barbarian shenanigans.
It's barbarian
Yeah,
shenanigans.
okay.
All right, so I failed the first one. The other one, I make it easy.
Okay.
I'm adding those points back on.
You still get take the 3
Half.
piercing damage, though.
Yeah.
And you need somebody to suck the poison out.
Yeah. Is the poison damage 0 on a successful save, or is it half?
This one is
I'm just curious.
0,
Oh.
I think.
I think that's
Yep.
how most of them work. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, on to Starless.
So in the room we're at, Are those 3 goblins still in there with us, or are they dead?
I think it's us.
That's us.
That's you guys,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I burning hands the room.
Okay, so I will just move.
Because I've cast a spell.
I will move so I can see down the corridor, and I am going to fire my longbow.
Okay.
Or shoot, I guess, an arrow.
So there's a...
Throw my longbow at
Hold
her.
on to the bow arrow and let the bow go flying.
Yeah. So I will shoot down there at the red-eyed goblin.
So this well actually is cover. There is a little bit of cover from that. That's one of the reasons that Buttonwaddle would have had to move in to get a clear shot.
Oh,
So,
then I will shoot the snake instead.
okay, so yeah, you can kind of move into here and see it slithering
Yep.
out down there.
Is the snake considered prone?
That's a good question.
It's considered poisonous.
Yes.
All right.
It was venomous or
Venomous.
poisonous? What's the...
Oh, poor. 10.
10. The arrow flies past it, striking one of the beds.
The bed takes 6 damage.
You did hit,
All
just
right.
not the not the snake.
Yeah. The bed is
The arrow just
unconscious.
flies for infinity.
Yeah, it just goes
Oh,
forever.
I just missed.
Okay, the asps. So, plural. One of them is going to slither out from under the north side and go toward you, Starless. The other one, taking advantage of your distraction from the throwing at the shaman, is going to head over toward you, Buttonwaddle. Tom, against your character, Starless is 18 against AC.
Damn it. Hits.
That's going to be 4 piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw.
No. Too good at this. Oh, I fumble.
All right.
I would be dead.
You're going to take 4 points of poison damage.
Okay, I am in deep doo-doo.
Who's the cleric?
Me.
Well, that's at least some stroke of fortune. The other one is going to strike at your ankles.
2 are attacking me?
No, sorry,
Oh.
Buttonwaddle. And that's going to be 21 against AC.
Ouch, this one's a record.
Just barely.
1 point of piercing damage, but you need a Constitution saving throw as well.
All right, this time I'll actually do the. Okay, there's the bat. 14's gonna do it.
You're good. All right, the asps are done. The Goblin Shaman is going to cast a spell. It begins to speak words in Infernal. And it turns its attention on you, Buttonwaddle, and you need to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
Wah, wah, wah.
All right,
7.
you find that your muscles suddenly clutch up as you are paralyzed.
ooh, hold halfling.
Yeah, that's actually the spell specifically.
Seriously.
We have one for
Yeah.
each type of race.
That's how
Well,
we're balancing it, right?
Yeah,
Like, oh, it's instant kill, but only if you're playing, the specific character.
And he cackles maniacally. Actually, I think it's a she. She cackles maniacally.
Whoa, that's ugly. Goblin.
Doesn't take away from the fact that my axe is still embedded in its shoulder.
Tarmiel.
Do I have a clear target? I'm a little bit. It looks like if I remember right, I'm kind of a little bit in the doorway there. Like I think I'm the bottommost. Yeah, right there. Can I see anyone clearly? Because it sounds like one.
At this point, one of the asps has
I'm
come
gonna
out and is
Eldritch
striking at
Blast that
Starless.
one, so. All right, so it's knock, 13.
That will hit.
It takes 10 damage. So I blast it with infernal power.
All right.
Which did you blast?
The one that attacked me.
Oh, okay.
It sort of coils up in pain, but it still seems to be slithering around.
Dope.
After Tarmiel, unless you had anything else,
I'm gonna stick around where I am. Yeah.
Rennick. Here's the sound. Here's sounds coming from the covered bridge, and is going to hurry off to investigate.
Close the doors! Close the doors!
Yeah, and as soon as he gets out there, he can see that he can tell you that he hears sounds of movement coming from the door beyond the covered bridge. There was 2 doors, you might
Yep.
recall.
Hopefully he can barricade that one door.
That
If it locks
is-
on this side.
and he will actually move. He can dash, and so he can make it all the way there. He's a rogue, so he'll try to jimmy the lock or something. Button waddle.
Do I get to make the throw to resist
At
again?
the end of each turn, you can make another saving throw.
All right, but that's my entire action.
Succeed on the
Yep.
save. Oh, so close. That giant die. Oh.
Can't squander
It
that.
shows you all the results that you're not going to get.
All right, yeah, you struggle against it, but remain paralyzed. Starless.
So I have the viper, the asp. Right?
It's been hurt.
It's been hurt. It's on me.
Yeah.
So I can't get away without taking an oppie, right?
Not unless you spend your action to disengage.
So if I disengage and then run away, can I get away? I can get away from it, or
Yeah, basically it's your action to.
Do you have like?
I have a cure wound.
You can cast a spell on yourself without provoking. That doesn't provoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or spending the action to disengage means you'll be able to move without provoking any.
My concern is that just cure wounds. It hits me, and then I'm right back where I am.
Yeah, I
and
just
fail
don't know
my
if-
poison save.
I don't know if moving away actually helps you because it could just move up to you and attack.
Another option
Yeah.
would be healing word if you have it.
Did you take healing word?
No,
Oh, okay. I don't know if druids get healing word. I can't remember.
it says it here.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But it's not prepared.
I'm debating about speak with animals. Like, how pissed off is this animal?
I did just blast it in the face. So.
Yeah, it's probably not going to work.
He can tell you he's pissed off.
I think so. All right.
Actually,
I
give me
feel lucky. Oh, go ahead.
Give me a nature check real quick.
Last dice has been rolling.
See if you pick up on this being druid.
Nope.
This is completely normal asp behavior.
Yeah, I feel lucky, so I'm going to go ahead and cure wounds on myself.
Okay, and that's going to do 2d8 plus 4, I believe.
Yep.
Cure wounds. 2d8 plus 2?
Yep.
Oh, I was thinking with the light domain. Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
16. Oh, it gets me full health.
One of the asps is going to take advantage of your paralysis to slither
Down your
on
throat.
up.
Slither up my pants leg.
Paralyzed. Can't move or speak,
Around the snake tail.
and so it has advantage against you.
Oh, it's nice knowing you.
Oh, that's going to hit with a 22 against AC.
Yeah, just
The asps are actually the power behind the throne. The goblins were just like peace-loving creatures. These 2 snakes showed up and like, why don't you go kill things? It's awesome. So cool.
The evil conscience.
All the goblins speak parcel tongue. Sorry, dorky reference.
How dare you make dorky
off-brand.
references while playing D&D?
4 piercing damage to you, sir,
for piercing.
and Constitution saving throw. Are you enraged?
Not yet, but I was planning on it.
It's a good thing you didn't before your hold person.
Easily made.
Okay.
All right, good.
The other asp that is on its last scales is going to strike at you, Tom, Starless, for, wow, I'm on fire, 18 against AC.
Hit.
2 points of damage, and another Constitution saving throw.
You can do this.
Uh, 11.
11 is just enough.
Yay! Squeaking by. That's my goal, right?
Perfectly efficient, right?
You swiftly suck out the poison.
I should have a can of back to you.
You're actually just tourniqueting all different parts of your body. Okay, after that is the Goblin Shaman, who will maintain concentration on the Hold Person spell.
Nice.
Hold halfling.
I'm giving you the opportunity. Take him down.
So it cannot cast
Yeah, but
another
Do you have a
concentration
connection with them?
spell.
You two are just like hanging out.
But what it can cast is...
He paralyzed you because he just want to talk to you. He's like, I can't run away now. Okay, here's my problem. These snakes are telling me to be evil. I don't know if that's the right path.
He's actually asking us to help him with his snake problem.
It's a
We're
call for
infested
help.
by snakes. Can you help us?
They're all polymorph pixies and brownies. Help! Like, what?
We should try to talk to him that we're fixing his snake problem for us. We're exterminators.
It's interesting. I'm trying to find... There it is.
I can't think of any snake puns. Somebody come up with some snake puns, quick. I'm totally just on a blank.
I say you kick him in the ass.
Can somebody get these mother-fracking snakes out of my mother-fracking village? After... So he's going to cast on you...
So it's like snakes on the prime material plane.
That's weird. The spell is not in... interesting.
It may have been cut since the last.
Yeah, that's
Which
exactly
spell?
what... it was Cause Fear. But I'll have to track that down. Instead, it's going... Nope, that's a concentration. It's going to just take advantage of the Barbarian's paralysis and walk up and swing a scimitar at you.
Scimitar.
For... it's got advantage. 18 against AC.
Yep.
How many more hit points do you have left?
11.
All right.
4 points of damage.
He's just like standing.
Care to revise your number?
They were just like, what the heck? Like, they're hitting you in the head. Snakes crawling, wrapping around your head, choking you out. And you're just like...
Yeah, not doing all that great now.
No, you're doing awesome. Like half the monsters are attacking you.
You're tanking.
Yeah, you're totally...
You guys can just leave him to it, and I'm sure it'll work out.
Yeah, we'll go get some lunch. We'll it's your...
Tarmiel.
Oh, okay.
Reacting.
Now I'm going to go and try to find Cosmo.
Let's see. I'm going to try to blast that snake that's still attacking him, because hopefully I can take it out. Crit! Oh, no, and I rolled a 10 and... Oh, God, I just did like 23 damage to this snake.
You do...
It like turns and hisses at me, and I put an eldritch like right down its mouth and like out its tail. And I perfectly preserve the hide, turn it into an armband.
Yeah, with your extra damage, which was about 19 above its hit points, you can spend that time skinning it.
Oh, I wish I had blasted the shot. I couldn't have known. All right, so now that frees you. I think I'm just going to stay. Can the shaman see me from where I am?
Actually, it can see you, but you have some cover from the
I just want to move into cover where it can't see me, but where next turn I can pop out, just so we can't put a mojo on me.
Okay. Got it.
All right, there we go. 22 damage. The bar has been set.
Button waddle. Oh, Rinnick calls out. He's trying to jimmy the door, but there sounds like there's several creatures on the other side.
Free!
Free at last.
Coming for you.
And on his turn, hold person.
Well, he gets it by a hug.
That's another wasted turn for him.
That's true, yeah. You're still tanking.
And he's engaged in melee with you now. Starless, you are no longer staked.
Who do I have a shot at? The Viper or the... Can I hit the Shaman?
So, yeah, I'll go ahead and...
You know, if it was a constrictor snake, I could command it to squeeze the
somewhere
Shaman.
around here with an asp. There, you're back here, Starless. Tarmiel's over here. The shaman moved up, so the shaman's about there. So, moving a little into the room, you could easily get a shot on the shaman.
So actually, I'm going to use a free action and go into rage.
Okay.
Alright.
It just lets you. It doesn't require an action.
Does it say it doesn't require action, or does it say it's a bonus action?
On your turn, you can enter rage as a bonus
So
action.
you wouldn't be able to, because you're paralyzed.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you overcame it at the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, so I don't think there's any free actions in the game.
Yeah.
It's no longer a game term. Because nothing's free!
Yeah, so this is the hard knock lives of D&D.
No free action.
I feel like there's a law of physics about no free action.
Yeah. So what did you want to do?
I'm going to shoot an arrow at the shaman. That would be a crit.
Nice!
Ooh, straight in the eye.
I mean, you don't double your bonuses, just the dice.
12.
Oh, I knew that.
So I had 4 to that, right? So 16.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. As your arrow strikes it, you can see that its
I didn't realize the dex
skin
is that high, so I looked down and was like,
begins
oh,
to
there it is.
crack and burn, and sort of give off some heat. It's still standing, but you can see these big splits.
Oh,
through.
its skin. I thought you said his skin.
Oh.
Jeez. Okay, nice.
Smell like bacon? Is it delicious smelling?
It's a delicious-
For you, given
Yeah.
your propensity for food, yes.
The goblin eater background.
Burnt goblin.
Now that's a flaw.
I'm conflicted.
Has taste for burnt goblin.
I will accept that as a D.
After, oh gosh, where were we? Starless is the asps. The asp. The asp now is going to actually just continue to strike at you, Button Waddle. It doesn't really know the difference and that you're
That's
able to
7 points
resist.
left free.
It brought it 22 against AC.
These just barely
asps
hit it.
just don't like
They
it.
only have a +4 bonus to attack. I just keep rolling 15 and higher. 2 points of piercing damage
It's whittling you down, 1 hit point at a time.
and a.
Oh!
But my resilience also gives me poison damage resistance.
Oh,
Are you
nice.
sure you're not a dwarf?
I think it might be the stout halfling.
Hey, it's working fine for us. It's cool.
I don't have the character
Yeah,
page.
I
but
think
I'm
you're
pretty
right. 5 points of poison damage.
So that's 2 or 3.
2. Yep. We round down. See, it's all school of hard knocks. No free actions. We always round down. Getting you ready for life, kid.
After Button, no, that was the ass. As the goblin. The goblin.
I could use some healing. Starless.
No, none for you.
And then you turn. So you say that to him. And you turn. I don't need any healing. Trust me. I'm fully fine. Bring it. Bring it to someone else. It was like the opportunity attack negotiation. If you move away, I promise I won't op at you. What do you think? Do you still want to attack me?
The goblin is going to cast a cast Searing Smite using a swift action.
There's no swift actions in the game.
Yeah. You're what? There's not.
No,
I'm
there's no such
looking
thing as
at.
swift action. You're looking at an outdated file, my friend.
There could be no action without an equal and opposite reaction.
Unless you're being attacked by a bird.
We are actually. It's for people watching. We basically we won't be using the word swift action. Everything will just be labeled a bonus action, and you can take 1 bonus action.
Yeah, this is the spells section from a couple months ago.
Yeah,
so that's
so it'd be a
why.
bonus action now.
So you can see that Scimitar begins to flare with heat and and turns white hot.
Just say one thing: you tanked well. You made him cast 2 spells on you, and it wasted a ton of actions taking you down. How many points do you have left?
And the viper.
3.
Okay, yeah. So this
And
And
it
the
is
asp
going
has
to
been attacking
swing
him.
its scimitar at you, Button Waddle.
we will remember you.
Bring it.
We will steal all your stuff and remember you through it. That is going to miss.
We could use him
The
to...
sword passes through the front. And grain comes out, bouncing out.
That's right. The giant bag of grain.
And because the scimitar is searing hot, it smells faintly of bread.
Oh, even corn, even popcorn, right? Like,
Oh!
Now I want a pulled pork sandwich. I got the cracklings and the bread. Delicious.
Pulled goblin sandwich.
If you can't tell at home, it's near lunchtime for us. After that is Tarmiel.
okay, so the door has not been battered down. Looks like Renix kind of got that under control.
He is trying his best to basically jam the seam of the door with things to hold it shut.
I'm going to poke around the corner, blast the shaman. If he has cover, I don't really care because I just want to stay out of his way, and I want to keep an eye on the door. So I basically move up to the corner of the room, poke my head around, blast the shaman, then I want to
Okay.
move back to where I was.
And keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on it. I still have a burning hands, everyone, so I'm going to try to save that if the goblins come through the door. So if he has cover, whatever, that probably stay AC, not my attack. And I got a 12.
12 against the shaman.
Yeah.
That will miss.
All right, my
Actually
turn.
equipped with hide armor and a buckler. After Tarmiel is, so Rennick, let's do a dexterity opposed by a strength. The door holds for another round.
Good job, Robo Matt. And now you get to rage. You get to use all your stuff.
Yes, it is Buttonwall's turn.
Hulking out.
You have
All
to like
3 feet of me.
Who is it? Was it no? It's like when Hulk Hogan would like he'd like look all and like I would punch him and he would just start getting angry and angry.
Yeah.
That's been you in the past 5 rounds.
That's right, wow, that's a blast from the past.
All right, I'm close enough to him to just swing at him because he swung at me.
Do you rip your shirt off first?
No.
Rips his shirt off, it's just like, he's just got sausages and other food like strapped to him on the
It's not
inside.
bandoliers, it's sausages or strapped around.
Just strapped. All right, X time.
You got him.
So that's going to be a 12
Oh.
Wait, don't you get into bonus from strength and all that stuff?
to damage. So
No,
when
no. So you get for your unless you're not proficient with weapon, you should be getting your strength bonus and your proficiency bonus.
Which proficiency bonus is +2 at level 2, and your strength modifier should, I hope, be more than 0.
I was looking at my damage bonus. Sorry. So it's +4, so it's 14.
All right, that hits. That was an important distinction.
When I'm berserk, it's just the damage bonus. It's
That's
not,
right.
not the hit.
But you also remember getting resistance against damage against basically melee damage.
piercing, and crushing, and
But yeah, you should be getting a +2 bonus to your damage. I wish your damage die was a d20. We picked that.
That was the third edition Bardiche, right? Wasn't it a D20 on damage?
It may have been some weapon we
nine,
added.
9 points of damage.
9 points.
I'm sure there was a d20 damage weapon at some point, but
Maybe it was a dwarven herb. No.
the Urgrash had like a d12, d8 or something like that.
9 points of damage. 9 points of damage is enough to send the goblin staggering. As it collapses, though, a wave of flames roils out from its body, and I need dexterity saving throws from the two of you.
I'm fire resistant.
You're fire resistant, and you are around the corner.
Nice.
That'll get any shelter from the well?
So you're okay.
16.
No.
I was just pointing out the one character
The
who
entire
gets
room like explodes into flames.
14.
How many hit points did you have left?
14.
Oh, what about the snake? Does it?
The snake is also having to make it. And the snake fails.
Finally.
That's
rolled poorly.
That snake had not taken any damage, though. So, the snake is still alive. The two of you manage to dive out of the way as the blast sort of emanates upward and outward.
Imagine I duck behind the well or something.
Still holding those 3 hit points. You just take it. In my mind now, your character's just like, take a grenade to the mouth, you wouldn't do this. Like, oh, whatever.
Again, it smells of bread
Just gonna
and
pick up when they ask.
and the goblin collapses, its scimitar clattering to the side. You can see that further back here is another room where the goblin came from.
More goblin shamans.
Yeah.
Those little monster generators.
Giant snake pit. 1d6 snakes every
I
turn.
remember it might have been in Keep in the Shadowfell that there at one point there was a room in there that just generated infinite skeletons. I don't know if that actually made it into the game or not.
I have no idea.
So you just get there at XP.
Yeah, that's that date is no longer in my.
And after Buttonwaddle is Starless, so there's still an asp near you. 3 hit points. And your companion Rennick is calling out.
I will do Cure Wounds on you.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a range or is that a touch?
I think that one's touch. I think healing word is range.
A gentle caress.
Then I might not. Oh, I have to touch you. I am not moving in to touch you with that asp.
Yeah, the snake is essentially between the two of you guys right now.
I'm going to shoot the snake and then run away.
I'm really badly hurt. Yeah, whatever.
20.
You hit.
Let's see, so 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage is enough to fell the snake.
There you go. So it's like preventative medicine. He killed the snake.
The
rather
snake.
than healing you.
It's enough to flop the snake.
And then I'm going to go, I want to, wow, do I want to run to the door or do I want to run away?
You want to run towards the halfling.
The snake is in the way. Okay, the
His rain
snake's
is
dead.
pouring
And he
out of
turns
his
and runs. So now that he's removed the barrier to helping you, he's now just fleeing. And just picture when he shot it and killed, he's like, oh, I didn't think I'd do that.
I'm gonna run
I don't know
towards.
these guys
I'm gonna
that
run
well.
past the barbarian, or in the direction of the room the shaman came from.
Okay.
So I'll be close enough to the barbarian that next turn one of us can.
And you have dark vision, or yeah, you do have dark vision here.
Yep.
So you can see a little bit more into that room there.
Make sure there's nothing else coming down that hallway after us. And it might be a good place to hide if the door bursts open.
Hide.
Hi, there's no way. Yeah.
You can see that now there's an iron door that is ajar.
Is it a door or a jar?
Leading into the other room. The room inside has smooth walls and ends with a square niche in which stands a human-sized statue of Chantea, appearing as a wise-looking matronly woman
Whoa.
dressed in robes and flowers.
That dude worshipped Chantea.
She holds a
Chantea is
sheet
apparently evil.
Yeah,
of
right.
wheat in one arm and a bunch of roses in the other. Under her arm is an altar carved to look like a rose bush. Before the altar are some benches. However, now vile symbols have been scrawled in dark red on many of the surfaces. The altar has been chipped and cracked, and the statue of Chantea has infernal sigils on it.
But
the altar is
is the
spread with
wheat
various implements.
Sculptural or is it real?
Let's find out. I should get in there.
I'm sure you guys have time to have a little art critique session.
The comments. Wait a second, before we fight, guys, seriously, your lair, so outdated.
Wow, we need to do some trading spaces here.
The altar is spread with various implements for writing, and as well as vessels of various sizes, coins, gems, and jewelry. Just in front of the altar is a wool mattress draped with wolf furs.
It's probably a very comfortable spot to sleep.
But wolf furs are so like Dale Reckoning, like 1300. It's just so everyone's foul bear
This whole lair is so passé. All right, that was Starless's turn. The asps are dead. The goblin is dead. Tarmiel.
From what we were told by the goblin that we befriended, then whose throat we slit,
Friends like these.
does it sound like the shaman was their leader?
Yeah.
Okay.
It had mentioned it had actually made allusions to the one that speaks with the master.
Okay. Excellent. Did it sound like he was afraid of the master? I'm sorry, of the shaman, the leader.
Yes.
Okay. I'll turn around and say, hold that door. And I will go and I want to take the head off the corpse. I'm not being weird. I'm going to take the head and try to intimidate them, basically flinging out the door and say, you're all next, to try to get these guys to run away.
Okay.
So I'll go and I'll take out my dad.
That'd be an action
Yep.
to saw off the head.
All right, awesome. I'm going to add that to my
Depending on the
inventory.
implement that you're using.
Yeah.
Do you think he's butchering it and you're trying to get a prime?
I assume you do have a bladed weapon.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, because it's gonna.
Oh, mace.
It will not look like a head by the time you're done if you don't have a bladed weapon.
Shaman. I want to get like all nice and bloody down my arm.
Having been starving once, I am not against eating other races.
You're down with cannibalism, right?
Well, it's only
I hear goblin tastes like chicken.
You're like the guy to start the adventure before we even leave town. Who will we eat first, right? You have to have that discussion.
But you said not your own race, so if you eat a goblin, that's not cannibalism.
Eating a sentient creature is like if it can talk to you, you shouldn't eat it.
Admittedly, it's D&D though, so
Every
any creature
creature
could be sentient.
That's it. So you gotta be careful, right?
Druids just go around. They're like, I'm gonna make this bird sentient. I'm gonna make this tree sentient.
There's a difference between like casting Awaken on an animal, and then if you cast like Speak with Animals, the cow, it doesn't say anything interesting. It's just
It says I'm made of delicious meat.
yeah,
Please sell me.
yeah, exactly.
Have some of my milk.
I think it's a blurred line.
I'm going to keep us in the initiative because there is a time pressure here. Rennick is going to continue to work his thieves' tools magic to keep things shut.
Roborenic.
Holds it again.
Nice.
And he can, again, say that there are several creatures on the other side. He can hear goblin voices. And Button Waddle.
I want to stay within walking distance of the druid.
Stick close to me. Move up
Right,
next
I'm
to
gonna
me.
go right to him.
We don't even have to move.
You just
to
need
touch
to
you.
go up and stand awkwardly close to him.
I'm sort of
You
hurt
only-
here.
It's like my dog when I'm making lunch. She just kind of comes and sits down at my foot and looks up at
I'll
me,
just
right?
stand up with your little cover down.
So because you don't attack, your rage ends, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why don't you attack a wall or something?
I need a target close by.
Bed.
A bed.
Just punch a pillow.
Start punching it. Keep his rage up.
After Buttonwaddle is Starless.
I don't know if
Alright,
it
I
does say
will.
after creature.
I'll do the healing on.
Can I just hit you a little bit to keep the
Hit him, right?
You get a little too, you crit him, and then he's down, and it's like, oh, well, now you're not going to get the healing.
The punch is only like 5 damage if you punched him.
I think it's actually just 1 now, unarmed attacks.
Well, because he gets his rage bonus and
yeah.
Could he telegraph? Could he telegraph his blow and I duck? You know, could he just say, "I'm coming to the left"? You know. 14.
Nice.
Ooh, that is fantastic.
I got the healing going on. But I got one more.
I'm gonna ask a question that might change the game. Does the barbarian no longer get advantage on attacks when he's raging?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You
yeah.
do get a feature that lets you take advantage, but you believe your opponents get disadvantage. Have advantage against you in return.
Okay, and when does they get that?
So I
feature?
think it's at 2nd level.
It's first or second level.
Yeah.
I think it is actually a feature separate from
Yeah.
the rage. So,
you get the
yeah, I think
so
it's
rage
second
gives you
level.
a bonus to damage and resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Okay.
So
Oh, actually, the rules specifically state that you have to attack a hostile creature.
yeah. You can't attack yourself. I hit myself though. I have real issues.
admittedly, the druid has been a little passive aggressive.
Yeah, that's a good DM judgment call. This guy's been hostile to
That
you.
bed was looking at you cross-eyed.
That's
I
why
might-
you
if
don't want a barbarian attorney, because like Your Honor, permission to treat this witness as hostile. It just starts clobbering you.
Had you been the person who decided to behead it, I think I probably would have let that count as
I don't know if I would have beheaded it. I was thinking something similar, but
after.
Oh, so I will. So after healing, then I will move. Well, did I get the sense there was anything otherwise interesting in that room?
There was a bunch of treasure piled on the altar, as well as some writing implements.
Well, that
and
does me no
papers.
good if I'm dead. So I'll move forward to go prepare to deal with whatever's coming in those
Okay.
doors.
Got it.
there could be asps in there.
Tarmiel.
All right. As Rennick is struggling with the door, I'm going to move over to the door. Is the door open at all, or is it just basically closed and he's keeping it closed?
It's closed, and he's been like trying to wedge things into it to keep it from opening, and it looks like it does have a lock, but now that's started to give as a result of.
All right. I would like to go over there and ready an action so when the door opens, I'll brandish the head and scream at them in common, such is the fate of those who break the laws of the Iron Book.
Followed with burning hands.
Yeah.
Do you did you want to actually have Rennick open it for you, or like basically pull out the?
I don't know. He's doing such a great job. I don't want to come and be like, please stop. It's kind of.
You could just hold the door. You could.
Also, these guys aren't really ready, so I don't want to open it yet until you guys are kind of down here in attack formation, and then maybe we can have them open it. So
We could say we have hostages.
we can take you hostage.
Well, no, they don't know. They don't know we've killed them.
Go away, or we kill the elf.
We leveled an awful
What
curse
elf?
on your leader. He's now an elf.
No, we can just tell them we have hostages, and that will start killing them.
That's not my
once they back up.
That's not my style. They're not gonna
Also,
kill. They're
it's
goblins.
goblins.
Like, sure, whatever. Oh, great. Well, we love hostages. Let us in. We want to, we'll help you kill them. All right. So that's
All
what
right.
we'll do.
The creatures on the other side pound on the door, and it holds.
Oh, nice. Good job, Rennick.
Button model.
I'm gonna run down to the other end of the room and just wait there. I'm assuming that's more than 25 feet, so I'm gonna have to use both movements.
Yeah, that'd be a dash.
All right,
I think it's still dash, right? Or that's what the.
It uses your action.
I'm in position for the doors.
Starless. Doing the same.
Yeah. Can we go in? Can I go in and flip that table over for cover?
Sure. Good call.
So, and then just sort of get behind the table with
target
arrow ready.
position.
Yeah. You can start your short rest.
Horses. Cover? What the hell's that?
No, right. Exactly. That's the attitude I want out of my party warrior. Get up there. Mix it up.
Tarmiel, just same thing. Ready?
If we're all in position, so we ask Rennick to just step away from the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to do that. And so I'll just ready in action to when the door
We
opens.
should actually unlock it, open it up so
They'll fall in. Yeah. So I'm going to, I guess I'll, Rennick, step away from the door. And then I will ready my action so that when the door opens, I will do my hold up the head.
Okay.
My pronouncement.
All right, yeah, he'll pull out one of the wedges that he's stuck in the door, holding it shut. And as they pound, the door flies open, and you can see beyond are 3 hobgoblins.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
It's a little tougher. Sterner stuff.
And they look surprised that at the sudden at it suddenly opening and seeing the two of you there. You're kind of a little further back, or did you go up to the door?
No, I'm right.
Oh, you're right there. Okay.
What?
And they're brandishing weapons, and you say,
I'll do my total like Perseus with the head of Medusa. We have found what we came for. That's why I present the head. Leave us now, and this shall not be your fate.
okay, make a charisma check, intimidation.
All right, so I actually have to use these. Big money, no whammies. 12.
You're a tiefling, right?
Yeah.
One of the hobgoblins, they pause, and what looks like the hobgoblin, the chief of this group, says, "Does the master speak with you, then?"
I will speak. I'll say in Infernal. Of course, the master speaks through me. And then I'll say, in Common. I forget you're not one of the elect. Yes, the master speaks through me. And I'll say something more in Infernal, like, you stupid pig face, say like the entire line. So he hears, basically I want him to hear a lot of Infernal.
You can see that the other 2 hobgoblins appear uneasy, and
I'm
they.
half tempted to go. The tieflings turned on us.
Yes, I am with the master. Get this happening on
It's all been a ruse.
Yeah.
The leader of this band says, "The master was displeased with Gabula, then.
Yes.
Why did you slaughter the others?"
They sided with Gabala, and thus met the same fate. Purged with fire. Oh, yeah, that's right, we set this room on fire. Point to the flames. Purged with flame, like any festering wound.
There's actually probably still some sections that are on fire from when you had cast your burning hands earlier. Go ahead and give me one more persuasion check this time.
Not as good at these. 8.
Go ahead.
Give him advantage.
Yeah, I
Already
think
buying
you
it.
go ahead and give it. Yeah, take advantage because you're already succeeding.
9.
The hobgoblin says.
Actually, this is what I say to the dude. I walk up to him. If you doubt me, strike me. And if I am true, the master's flame shall punish you. And I kind of just disdainfully fling the head over my shoulder.
You can see the other 2 hobgoblins are kind of looking at one another and looking at the chieftain, and he looks back at them as.
And I walk up to him like this.
Then he
ahead,
he
take
starts to
him up.
turn like
Come
he's not
now.
going to, and then turns and attacks.
All right, I let him hit me.
These guys.
You can attack roll on this, Mike.
Huh? No, then I make him burst into flames like I did that poor guard.
Does he get an attack roll, or is it just a? At least you could crit on it.
Yeah, no, it's just a spell.
He automatically hits. So
I have my bank of temporary hit points. So, how much damage?
It is going to do 6 points of damage with its longsword.
So when he hits me, I guess the visual effect would be of a 1 hit point hit, because I had my temporary hit points running. So, and then he bursts into flames. It takes 13 points of fire.
That's awesome.
All right, it's not enough to kill him, but he howls in pain.
And I scream at him in Infernal, "Dare you now doubt the power of the Master!" Actually, what I say in Infernal is, "Dare you now doubt the power of the Book of Law."
And howls and says, "You speak true. Forgive us."
I point to the 2 other guys and a step away. "Take his head. The Master commands it."
All right. I'm just gonna let them both get an attack while he is kind of surprised by all this.
Wow.
So
Spectacular.
They each have.
You're getting an extra biscuit from my breeches.
Oh, they get multi-attack too. So I'm gonna let each attack with this longsword twice. Let's see if I can fell it. That's a hit. Yes. 2 hits. So that's gonna be a total of 18 damage plus your other damage, which was how much again?
14 or something like that? 13.
Yeah, that kills him. Yeah, so they just start start stabbing him, and one of them takes a swing and knocks. Yeah, his head flies clean like you had asked.
Excellent.
They said, "We serve you and the Master."
Now
Yes.
command him to kiss.
Kiss the elf. The elf is a hobgoblin. Very well. Where's the rest of this? The contingent sent here.
We were awaiting orders on what to do next. There are several members. There are several other goblins and some bugbears back in the fort, awaiting our instructions whether we need reinforcements. But now that we see you are true, we fear not.
Yes, reinforcements will come soon. But the goblin shaman, I point over to the head, has been trucking with the humans, so you must keep a low profile. Now that I have dealt with this traitor, fortify this fortress, and I shall return in 3 nights. Now that I have dealt with the traitor with reinforcements.
Very well.
Order the goblins who are on guard in the forest to the north. I suspect that that this one was plotting to betray us, and perhaps already has ambushed and killed some of the watchers. Bring those goblins back within this place and have them wait here, and I shall return.
We shall do as you command. What do we call you?
Call me Lawbringer.
Very well, Lawbringer. And they lead back down the corridor.
The kidnapped people?
Oh, they kidnap people?
Don't you remember the whole village?
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. Yeah.
You can stop them as they
Hand over the hostages to me. I shall bring them to the Master, personally.
Oh, we have already sent the hostages along. Were we not to do that?
Oh.
That is what Gabula told us.
The treacherous Garbola. Where did he send them? Or she? I have no idea. Where did Garbola send them?
They all look alike.
The one hobgoblin says, they were to be sent to the Forlorn Hills. I know not the reason. I know not why, though. Something about making weapons.
Oh, excellent. Do you have a map of the specific outpost they were sent to?
Sorg might know. Let me ask him.
Yes.
Hopefully that wasn't the one we just killed.
Yeah. Oh, this guy here. That is him.
They, unless you have anything else for them, they'll leave.
All right. I don't know how long this deception will last, but
We should check out that end room.
Yes.
See what's in there.
Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna head back that direction. Are you doing anything to fortify the doors, or at this point you're just leaving them?
I think we'll just leave them.
We should do a surprise attack on those two. If they leave.
No. Well, no, because we were here for the captives. Ideally, they just. Oh no! Now that we know where they are, actually, I'll say when he goes to leave. Sorry, he was coming back with a map to where they are.
Or information.
Information.
There's an answer.
Yeah, I'll point at you and say you. I designate you when he's talking to me as voice of the Lawbringer. Only you are to speak to me. No one else. And I point to the door down the end of the hallway is to come through there. I must reconsecrate this place to the infernal fires of the Master. It shall be burned.
As you say, Master. Or as you say, Lawbringer.
This one, and I'll point at Rennick. He shall be my doorman. Whatever, just send him off screen.
He
Seems well
nods and you give proper hobgoblin and walks away.
Alright, so I'll basically have Rennick take messages for me.
Okay.
My assistant.
This is what happens when you miss a session. You get delegated to Dorman.
Take that. So you guys want to loot this place?
Yeah.
I'll stick near the entrance so in case anyone does come, I'm there.
So what's in that back room?
In the back room, you find all sorts of infernal writing, which you can read. It says things to the effect of, "The Master's heart beats like a war drum in the forlorn hills. His fire burns inside me. Master, whisper to me the secrets of the hells."
So she not only was like the leader, she was kind of like an amateur poet. Like,
Yes, yeah. She'd occasionally go out and was like, "What do you guys think of this?" What is it? They'd all...
No, we don't speak infernal, right? Yeah, but okay.
Let's see. He flies in spirit, his body bound by the blade. The Red Wizard gave it wings of shadow.
Red Wizard.
Weird.
Curse this goddess and her servants, which is just referring
You
to...
trained in Arcana?
No.
I'll gather up those writings. I have.
Mike, you must be trained in Arcana.
What's Arcana? I need not know the laws of
Because
magic
that
under the law
scimitar's
of the
probably
book.
cursed. I don't know if I want to touch the scimitar.
It is no longer burning hot like it was.
Yeah.
Amid the scattered around the altar and in corners are various treasures, including several pint pots which contain blood,
Ooh.
2 vials of ink,
I mean, if you
a
don't
pot
know
of
it's-
honey.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's for me.
Wait, now I'm
Several-
like, yeah, thinking like your character.
Several painter's brushes, a bloody spindle, and on the gabula, the goblin, is an electrum brooch,
Pride for the master.
a wolf fur cloak, a belt of electrum rings and plates, and some fine-looking boots.
So it sounds like what Gabola here was trying to do was start some sort of like artist colony. I was like, go kill and murder, and she's like, okay, I'll do that, but my real passion is in visual arts and also spoken word
That,
performance.
that explains the master title,
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
It's
yeah.
a master artist.
Yeah, right.
Master
So she's
artist.
here like, come on guys, let's do some like, let's work in clay, let's find out what your passion is. And like, passion's kind of in killing people. She's like, come on.
So I'm
work
guessing
with
her
me.
media was blood, and that's what she wasn't really killing people out of spite. She just needed more.
She didn't protest the violence, but she did benefit from it. So it kind of makes her like, she is part of the machine. Now, if it's not halfling blood, are you going to drink it? I mean, is that cool with you?
It's protein.
Yeah.
You never can tell when you.
Does blood go bad? I don't know.
Well, it would congeal.
Yeah.
We'll put in some sausage skins. We'll have some blood sausage. It's good.
So at the back in time, like, this may or may not be cannibalism. I'm not sure who this is from, but I'm taking that risk. It's like this really nouveau cuisine approach.
So you
Blood pudding.
can gather up the valuables off of the goblin. As I mentioned, the boots look especially fine. The scimitar doesn't have anything ornate or unusual about it.
Still not touching it.
If a weapon has hit you, you're like, oh, trust this one.
It's cursed with my
If
own
it
blood.
makes my grains.
Did you guys want to actually just like rest and wait here?
Yeah, I guess we'll wait back for news about this. We know where to go next.
Yeah, we have to wait for the information to come back.
Yeah, so I will try to take a short rest then.
Okay.
What does a short rest get us? Chance to recover hit points?
Yeah, it's an hour. You can spend your hit dice, and so you might have a class feature that tells you if you get something back.
Yeah, I get my spells back.
about 25 minutes. Rennick will
So we wouldn't do the complete arrest.
Rennick will. You can probably hear talking in the bridge area, and Rennick will report to you that the hobgoblin said that the location in the Forlorn Hills where they took the prisoners, they believe is called Firehammer Hold,
Cool.
which you guys have heard. That's where Jack was going.
Oh no!
It
Since
is
I
a-
speak
So he's
his
going to
language.
get all the glory.
Dwarven, it is
Yes.
supposedly a dwarven hold dedicated to Hail of Brightaxe, one of the dwarven
So he's going to
demigods.
show up there. There's just going to be all the hostages. He's like, "Oh, come with me," and then we
Well,
did all the dirty work.
Yeah. Presumably, though, the dwarves aren't in on this. Maybe they are. Like, goblin slaving!
Never saw that one coming.
Kind of like the shaman. They're like, we're not going to take part in enslaving humans, but we will benefit from it. So,
You know, we'll get there. The dwarves will all say Hail Hydra.
yeah,
You
right.
do have control of a goblin horde now.
Yeah.
We shall march on the
Yeah.
dwarven fortress.
I was thinking of ordering these guys just to hole up, then coming back with the human army and just burning them up. I just don't want to mess the bugbears. Bugbears are kind of nasty. So.
Hobgoblins are very lawful. If you get too accustomed to this new role, you could.
You can go native and take over.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could. I'd use them for, well, not good or evil. I'd use them for me in the law.
For law.
You could bring law to that lawless Daggerford.
Yeah, right.
I'll show them.
Yeah,
the
that's a
adventure
great
takes a dark
idea.
turn.
You'll march on enforcers, like,
Wow.
that's a brilliant plan. We'll work on that later. Yeah, have you guys ever, anyone here with like a criminal justice background with the goblins? Like, what's any lawyers or like that? Is that some, that's no
Big grounds for this. Okay, so you get a report back. The hobgoblins would have also told Rennick that they are fortifying the fortress to make sure that no more loyalists to Gabula
Yeah.
are about. And they'll report that there has been a few people who have protested this, and they've taken swift care of him because these hobgoblins saw your power.
They witnessed it.
And that to inform them if you need their services further.
Excellent. I guess we should go ahead and take a short rest.
Yeah, let's
you
do
can
that.
finish your rest.
So at second level, we have 2 hit dice, correct?
Yep.
Yep. And you add your con modifier to each.
Oh, well, I'm not going to burn both of them.
Oh, if we need it, I can produce
And
flames. I can
it
do
is
some pyrotechnics
nighttime.
for you.
You guys have decided to try to sneak into Jolkoon at night.
Actually, might as well just rest the night.
So you can if you want.
We have this room from now.
Yeah, we might as well take a long rest. We'll need a sign that says like recording or something.
Resting safely in the Hobgoblin and Goblin Fortress.
All right.
And your sleep will go undisturbed. There might, at some point, the Hobgoblin might return to basically ask if there's any further orders during the night.
Yeah, I would say give me a breakdown of what our available manpower is, or goblin power, whatever, for people, creature power.
Do we need them to bring us food?
We have, I think I have.
I mean, I know we do, but they can prepare a feast in the honor of you.
I wouldn't trust anything. But
They should bring us food. They really
the
should.
human food that they rest.
I demand all the food in the fortress.
Give me all the food. So hungry.
It's gonna look like the
We need it around us.
you're like the Grinch. You're gonna steal all the last poo crumbs of the poor goblins.
Not going to let them starve. There's plenty of dirt around.
They can eat
There's
each
your
other.
forces, Mike.
Oh, nice. I have a little. I have an entire card for this. Oh, nice.
Oh, I didn't. They will also mention the winged creature in the cellar and
Is there
the
a
wolf.
wyvern or something that was mentioned? Something was flying around earlier.
Oh.
Did you actually see something fly around?
I don't think you saw anything.
What
But
kind of
there was a mention in the writings of something that flies.
Wait, I'll ask for more information. What is this winged creature?
You had said, or you had seen the writing. The Red Wizard gave it wings of shadow. And the hobgoblin will say, "We don't go near it. It is a dark thing.
What is
Made of magic."
What did the shaman? I keep forgetting the name. Do with this thing? Was it a servant?
More of a spy. Should you not know this?
I suspect there is treachery afoot regarding this thing.
I
We
know
shall
it's
see.
what my character does.
It's a fell beast.
Close. You should make a nature roll and see if you can figure it out.
Actually, that'd be hilarious if it is. Yeah, let's have him bring us to this thing if we identify it for my next trick. Because I think if we expose it to sunlight, it turns into
So I got
treachery.
I wonder if anybody on the chat channel has figured it out.
I got 15.
You would recognize this creature, or basically the between what what Tarmiel had deciphered from the infernal writings,
Is it a darkened beast?
that it is a darkened
And
beast.
is it true that if we expose it to sunlight, it'll turn it back into what it originally was?
With a 15? Yeah, you would know that.
All right, I will show you. What? You question me again? I shall show you my power. I shall dispel the illusion placed upon this creature tomorrow at dawn. And you shall see.
It's a chipmunk.
Yeah, right? That's what it is. You shall see what comes of those who question the power of the master and his most favored minions.
They say, then we must gather everybody so that they can see our power.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
How many are there?
There's like 22 of these guys, but they're gonna see me
Let's just
turn
hope
this
this doesn't
horrible
go
creature
south.
into like a rabbit or a cow. They're gonna be so cowed. Or we could just flee in the night. I mean, this is our option. We either do something awesome, just blow some goblin minds.
Let's rest for the night. Let's get our spells back and.
So I do feel a little uncomfortable being a halfling within this group. Can you put illusion on me to at least make me look like a goblet or something?
No, you're fine.
I'm just sort of hanging back.
Great, just the way you are.
No, this is actually, I'll say, I have business to attend to. So, I don't have time to play your foolish games. But know this. Bring forth that creature into the sunlight tomorrow morning, and you shall see its true shape and the true power that awaits those who betray the master.
I thought we were going to do a big performance.
Let's just get the hell out of here. There's like 22 of these guys. I don't have to try to fight them all.
You should send them in one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. Next, it'll be like employee reviews.
Yeah.
Okay, you had really bad HR files at this outpost. So I have you just count it one at a time. Okay, what do you do here? Like straight out of Office Space. And then, okay, I'm sorry, we are going to have to terminate you.
We just have the
With extreme
barbarians.
prejudice.
The barbarians standing behind them as they sit down for their.
So you wanted to leave in the night after giving this order to the hobgoblin.
We'll take a rest and then we'll wake up early because the rest is like and then get out of here or we can go hang out with the druid, the dryad.
Well, the more time we waste, the more bad things can happen. I mean, they're being used
We
as
should try to-
rabbits, so they're not going to be sacrificed. But
We should catch up to Jet because he's riding into a
we want to
trap.
give him the glory.
That's right. We're gonna catch up to him.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do that.
I don't think he's getting glory.
Well, so basically, how about this? Well, once the hobgoblin is on, given the game plan for tomorrow, told them we're leaving. We head out tonight, go to the Dryad's Grove, rest there, and then we can give the Dryad an update and say what's going on. And I can tell the Dryad, here's what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So,
You take your hobgoblin buddies with you?
no. Yeah.
Okay, that no need for any checks. That's easy enough. You guys had the way in. You can go back out either through the fortress or you can just go back out through the
We'll just
bridge.
go to the fortress. Yeah.
And the Dryad inquires about what happened, and
Give her the full story.
she doesn't know what her ability to deal with the 3 bugbears, 4 hobgoblins, and 15 goblins will, but she'll certainly.
Yeah, just so she knows.
If they venture into the woods, she can at least do something to them.
Did we have any way to send a message back to Daggerford?
She sent a bird to us.
He
so we
had,
can-
but he also
Oh, he has birds.
the pigeons.
Let's
Yeah.
send a pigeon then with that entire breakdown and say it's strike fast because they're going to wait several days. So it took us a day to get out here, right?
Took 10 days. It's almost a week away.
Oh, okay. In that case, could I just rewind and say, "Oh wait, a 10-day and change"?
I sent one message and they're like, oh crap. I mean, this is the second pigeon.
When I was talking to them, I was assuming 3 days was long enough from a 4.
Oh, you wanted to, yeah, that would be fine.
Okay.
They might be able to get there faster by boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also just tell them, strike now. It's your best chance to liberate Jelkun.
Yeah, it's about 50 miles as the crow flies, and that's if you're going through mountains.
Okay. Sorry, I was thinking 3 days, so I thought it took us a day to get out of here.
So you know that Jack is about a day ahead of you guys at this point. You've rested. You've sent word back to Daggerford. You want to ride on to try to catch up with him?
Yeah. Because I speak another languages, I have Jack the dwarf, so it's like two of us who
It's
speak
very
it.
narrow proficiency.
Yeah.
So another way we're trying to balance the game.
Yeah.
Providing very narrow languages and proficiencies.
There used to be languages for each creature race, now there's languages for each creature.
That's probably some like jive slang.
Something that's just like...
It's a bold move, I think. All right. You guys can, after about 3 days hard ride, catch up with Jack. He has just reached or rather, he is nearing Scourge at that point. You might use one of the maps.
Okay.
Scourge has a road that heads north, the Iron Road, into the Forlorn Hills, where you already immediately have an affinity for it because it's associated with iron.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
And so he is a little surprised to see you, and
Like, you're reaching out, grabbing your shoulder. Don't do another step. No, it's not. Wait, is this
your
fire?
breath, so you can catch them when they're camped for that evening, and he's surprised and says, I didn't think I'd be seeing you guys back until we got to Daggerford.
Funny story about that. No, you wouldn't believe what's happening. We met a dryad. It was so cool. We go for like 4 days, and this is where. No, wait. Oh crap! Firehold hammer. Oh wait. No, fire hammer hold, whatever. So we want to just give them the download? Do you want to?
Yeah, let's just give them the download.
Yeah, we'll just give them a quick summary. Say, hey, about the hostages, where everything has been, and it sounds like the dwarves are complicit in this plot, which I find. Wait, why am I speaking like a dwarf? The dwarves are complicit in this plot, which I find.
Why are you speaking like Batman?
I am Batman. He is Batman. Yeah, I find that.
Where are the prisoners?
Yeah. Get to the chopper. Wait, that's what I get. Or something has befallen them.
You get to speak like Bane.
These are worshippers of Hela Brightaxe. Certainly they wouldn't turn to slavery. That sounds more like something hobgoblins would do, or the foul Dwergar.
When is the last time you have had any contact with the dwarves of this place?
Oh, I've never been there. This had been recommended as a place I might find out more about the
So you don't know the layout of this place?
stone.
Who recommended you? Was it Istaval? It was Istaval, wasn't it?
The shadowy puppet master.
Istaval is in
Wherever
on
he
all
sends
this.
us, we come across evil.
Istaval is in on this.
He says,
Back to Daggerford right now.
Firehammerhold was known to me before I traveled to Daggerford, but after discovering the stone face, the Delambir Bloke, as it's called, I had thought to seek here, and Istavil encouraged me to go and seek the wisdom of my kin.
It's a trap.
He's not around. He left days earlier to...
Because he knew the attack was coming.
That's right, but when he left town, that's when the rioters showed up, and this is interesting.
Perhaps I should go on to investigate, and if you want to, you're certainly welcome to accompany me, or if you want to head back to Daggerford and see to these other issues, the attack on Jelkun.
Evil that is Istaval.
Istaval is beyond
Beyond our power.
Beyond reproach. He is a good man, and even suggesting such a thing of him is absurd.
None are beyond reproach. We will go with you.
I actually agree with the tiefling.
Starting to seem a little more reasonable now, aren't I? Not so crazy conspiracy, torture guy. So much now I was like, hey, maybe the guy we need in this hour of need, right?
It's not the hero we want, the hero we deserve.
If he burns us all to death, so be it.
So Istaval's seen too much, heard too much. He's jaded. Now he wants revenge on all adventurers for his failings.
Exactly. When you look too long into the abyss looks back at you. Or whatever it is. Anyways, you turn evil when you fight enough evil.
I'm sure that some people watching this are like, why are they so obsessed with Istaval? Istaval is the paladin that not only features in this adventure, but in several other stories and videos and such. So.
It's kind of one of our big quest givers.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny to think he's the mastermind behind the scenes.
He is. That's why he knows where all the plots are. He's keeping us distracted while the big things are happening.
Right, he sends out adventurers on sort of like plot, like mundane quests while he's working on bigger plans.
Istaval's got
That's the fourth Sundering movie.
Yeah. He's got the chessboard out, and we all showed up to play whack-a-mole. So we don't even know how to.
He's totally spoiled
this.
the fourth movie.
It's him walk in the hall. All my plots have come together.
Hail Hydra. I'm telling you.
So if you want to, you can continue on to Firehammer Hold
I
with.
think we should go with it.
Jack.
Does anyone object?
Yeah, I think.
Does anyone object?
Yeah, because I speak Jack, so
You just speak Jack. Yeah. Now let's go with you. We need to keep an eye on Jack too. He might be in on it.
Okay, now you are kind of going to full-blown paranoia, right? The guy being sent to his death is probably not in on.
So I don't know if we have this in the background right now, but we should totally have conspiracy theorist as a potential like flaw or a negative trait.
You're like, oh, we were in that tavern. That minstrel in the corner was singing a song, which was a secret encoded message about how Jack is like.
That's how they pass messages back and forth. Those bards, you can't trust them. They're on it.
Yeah, those Harpers.
That's right. Oh, that's right. The Harpers. Follow the money.
Yeah, it's not like those red wizards. At least they wear like
they're obviously
clothes
good.
to show you that they're evil.
They
Right?
got tattoos. They got red robes. Like, hey, you know what? I like undead and killing people. So
You know where you stand with them.
exactly right.
All right, Firehammer Hold. So it is almost another 10-day from when you leave Jolkoon to when you start to get into the Forlorn Hills approaching Firehammer Hold.
I'm glad we have fast travel.
Yeah. Do we level up or anything, or how does that work?
You could level up, but I don't think anybody has the rules to level up right now.
Mike has all of them.
Alternatively,
Yeah, you get 100 hit points and Thor's hammer. Okay, now we're ready.
rather than getting halfway into Firehammer Hold, this may actually just be a good place to wrap up because you're about to basically transition into another dungeon.
Oh well, yeah, we're good to put it.
I realize that's a shorter session, but
I got all the maps up and ready.
I'm sorry, Trevor.
No, it's fine.
Are we playing next week?
Well, the plan is, so right now D&D Encounters is transitioning into the next season, Dead and Fey. Dead and Fey is a mega dungeon connected to this adventure through, because they're both part of the Dreams of the Red Wizards, but because we haven't been playing this on a weekly basis, we're much, much further behind anybody who's running this in stores. So what I can do is just do a quick wrap up of kind of where things were going.
It's just like the montage at the end, like we ran out of budget for the movie. Straight to like the text, like everyone's jumping in the air and it freezes on our faces, and like this is what happened.
No, it's like the film suddenly all breaks, and suddenly it comes back up, and we're all like battle scarred, and we're suddenly friends with the hobgoblins.
Yeah, the hobgoblins.
You know, Matt's character's dead. And
Everyone's like, whatever.
But yeah, as a part of these videos, we aren't running as consistently as those folks in D&D Encounters, and so those people would have played through several of the locations, including Jolkoon, Firehammer Hold. The Knolls, which were alluded to, is another location up in the forest, and had you returned to Daggerford, you would have met Istaval, the mastermind.
Yep.
He would have told you to deal with the Knolls.
Oh, we would have taken him down.
I don't think we could have. He's too high up.
We could have surprised him.
Well,
Yeah,
you knew where he lives. You could just set an ambush, right?
Yeah, he set his house on fire.
He can't walk without a cane. How hard can he be?
He's right. He'd be pretty tough.
He's a mastermind. He hasn't survived this long.
Yeah, he wouldn't be bad. He's no fool. He's probably got a bunch of.
The whole town would be on us before we could do anything.
I'd say it's probably he's just a clone, right? Even if we defeated him, it's just the head falls off and it's just the voice
Oh,
played.
he's a robot.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Dune like a.
Left-handed would just send them back. They're like, you're not done.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And there's another location, Harpshield Castle, and when you start to visit all these, you can see that they are connected through a infernal force that the master spoken of is a. You learn the name is Bozka, a devil,
Nice.
and
Not Bosco, a delicious chocolate drink.
It's spelled backwards is Istival.
Is it? It all comes together.
and that this force, which has kind of been creating all of this strife within the Sword Coast, is actually being I cannot speak today.
Perpetrated?
Yeah, by the Red Wizards.
Cool.
And
Wait, uncool. I hate Red Wizards.
and eventually you visit the Flotian Manor, which you passed on the way to Joltoon.
Jack was like, "Oh, don't go there. There's nothing interesting there."
There wouldn't have been anything interesting there
Comes
when you
together.
went there, but by the time all of these plots are underway, the Lord Flotian's sister, Shalindra Flotian, has seized the manor and is using it for a base of operations. All this is sort of leading toward an ultimate confrontation, but as of the end of this adventure, it's still unknown what that is. There's a place called Bloodgate Keep, out of which the Red Wizards are operating. And by the end of the adventure, through visiting these locations and confronting the infernally possessed creatures, you're able to ascertain the location, which is also in the Forlorn Hills. And so that's where Dead and Day picks up with
Cool.
adventurers prepared for an assault on Bloodgate Keep.
So, were hobgoblins running the fire hold dwarven thing?
Dwergar, actually.
Dwergar. What the heck?
Again, basically, the Red Wizards are pulling the strings, getting all of these different
Okay.
humanoids within the
Dwergar were when were
Making
they
weapons.
enslaving the humans to make weapons?
to make
So-
weapons for the hobgoblins, the gnolls, the orcs.
And are we able to, in theory, we would have been able to rescue them?
Of course. I mean, of course.
Yeah. Well, you would have gone in and been like, "I'm here on behalf of the master.
Yeah.
I need
And then it
to
would say,
take the
to
prisoners."
prove it, just punch me. Burst into flame and.
And I
What do you
apparently my spell attack is produce flame because I
Oh,
can make
nice.
fire and then I can like hurl it at
No, so you
people.
can totally act
You
like
would have
you're
done that,
like,
and
yeah.
they would have been like, oh no, we've seen warlocks before. We know what's going to happen.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, they are Dwergar. They know a little bit about infernal powers.
Not just a bunch of goofy hobgoblins.
Do we have time for a little Q&A?
Yeah, definitely.
One that I got earlier, and it kind of goes to things we talked about before, with all the different modular rules. Let's put the modular rules aside. All the different player options that you can tweak on and off, like feats versus just getting the stat ability. Is it possible for a DM just to say, hey, look, everything in this player book is acceptable, so they don't have to worry about what conflicts and what doesn't?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's actually how we, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we are very much aware, like, there's different rings of, there's the basic options, which are just the minimum you need to play. And then we see, like, there be the next ring out, which are the most common options. But if we were to say to do a supplement or an expansion, I talked a little bit about this last year at Gen Con. The idea would be we would try to make that a self-contained universe of options where that book plus the player's handbook lets you run a type of campaign. And so, and I think we would talk to DMs more like if you're mixing multiple supplements, that's getting a little bit more like, I mean, we obviously aim for everything to be balanced, but that's when you're getting a little more like maybe beyond where things are intended to be. So rather than just being a game where, let's say take the fighter for instance, and you have the different martial archetypes, that's all just one giant list where it just gets longer and longer and longer, and all those are meant to be used alongside of each other. We really see it as, well, here's like the foundational option, the basic option, which is like the archetypal fighter. Then here's like the next ring out, which are like, yeah, these are like generic options in the sense of they're kind of meant to like encapsulate like the range of different characters people could make. And then if we did a supplement or an expansion, we would see it as, well, here are the archetypes that match up with this specific style of player campaign. So, for instance, if we were to do a player set of options for this adventure, we might say, okay, looking at the region where the adventure takes place, are there any specific martial archetypes that would make sense for this region that you might find here? And the answer might be no, so we might just have nothing. But we might say, I'm just going to make something up. That the, I don't know, Greg, could you think of is there like a player organization in the area that would be like, oh, that's like, would be iconic to the adventure, or nothing comes off the top of my head. A lot of those would be backgrounds, like you might be a dwarf from Firehammer Hold, that might be a background we'd create. But let's just say, for instance, if the dwarves of Firehammer Hold were known for fighting with dwarven Urgoshes, there might be a martial archetype that's the Urgosh Master or something like that, and that would be tied to that.
Yeah.
So,
And I think the other, sort of speaking more generally, we recognize that DMs and player groups want to play with different amounts of rules. Some of them are just going to want the main rules, and some are going to want to play with the whole kitchen sink. And that we want to make sure that the system is balanced across all of our rules, but that we do also give people the option to really scope it down. 'Cause as a DM, sometimes it's hard to wrap your mind around all of the different options out there.
yeah, it's nice as a DM if you feel like you really understand the characters. I think it makes your job easier. So that's something we see as DMs would decide, like, here's what, for this campaign, here's what I want to use. So,
Cool. This one might be a little spoilery, so choose refuse if you want. So we've seen Tiefling. Are we going to see their more holier counterparts, something like an Asmar or something like that?
not out of the gate. The we will undoubtedly eventually get to them, but just in terms of just trying to avoid scope creep and trying to do too much, we haven't touched on them yet. But they are still in the game. They just aren't. I don't think they will show up in the initial content we do. So,
Dan, you do a lot of the art stuff here. There's a question here about what the basic art style is for this new edition of D&D. Do you have anything you can say about that?
What's the basic art style?
Yeah.
Well-
or just anything you want to talk about the art style that we're going with, or maybe how it changes from focus to focus. Is there anything you can tell the crowd about the art style?
About the art style.
Very vague question.
Well, we're going realistic. For 5th edition, we took a look at 1st through 4th, sort of see where we've been with things and try to get the best direction. Sometimes we went back to 2nd edition if we'd like that. But we've tried to make everything sort of to modern sensibilities, to fantasy players. We've tried to take the best concepts that we've had over the years. Stylistically, we have sort of a painterly style. It's not going to be quite as photorealistic as Magic, but everything is realistic. And we have more art in this edition than we've had in the past. So we're giving a lot of visual stuff to players. And it's not just sort of senseless illustrations. There's a lot of illustrations there that are illustrating specific points. For the first time, we've taken our iconic spells and we've done a whole array of beautiful illustrations of them being cast so the players can get a real feel when they're using these spells, what they're doing with them.
People really like the stuff that we showed off at PAX East afterwards.
Yeah, the
The
same-
settings
the
and
same-
spells.
Would be true of like magic items. I'm really excited about the magic item art.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Also see a couple questions here about different campaign settings. People know that Forgotten Realms is getting the love now. They were just wondering when their favorite campaign settings might be getting some love, or if their favorite campaign settings might be getting some love.
we can't give any specifics yet, but it's definitely we have put thought about behind the different campaign settings, and actually in some ways we've tried to design the core rules to be as simple as possible, therefore as flexible as possible. I mean, simplicity doesn't necessarily automatically give way to flexibility, but that's what we wanted, simple and flexible, so that if we added in like a Dark Sun that has very different assumptions about the world, it's not hard to move the rules from where you are to where you want them to be. So
Those of us in R&D all play different settings. I mean, Mike, you're in a game with Rodney right now that's Greyhawk, right? And I run Dragonlance and I've run Dark Sun. So we're fans of them and want to see them around.
yeah.
One thing that I know we kind of talked about a little bit is backgrounds and options kind of tied to campaign settings. So I think is that a way you see delivering some of these things in the future?
Yeah, because one of the things we and actually the Legends of Lore that goes up Monday talks a bit more about like the role playing aspect of backgrounds. So like the example I gave before for this adventure, if there was a background that you were from Firehammer Hold, that means when we hear Firehammer Hold is in trouble, that makes it a lot more important for that character. And so you can easily imagine adding that to settings in Dragonlance if you are, depending where you're from, if you're Qualan Esti elf or Sylvan Esti or Kagan. It says something about it's tying you to the world in a way that I think is really great for DMs because it lets the DM think of the campaign in terms of, well, here's elements the character's already attached to, so those can play a role in the campaign. They have more meaning than they otherwise would.
One of the things I really like about the way backgrounds are designed is just how they're balanced, so that these are going to be like the optimal choice. I mean, they're pretty easily swappable, so that they with a couple proficiencies and a couple languages or in a feature.
Yeah, it's really a campaign building tool in a lot of ways. It gives the players some way to have well, here's what's interesting to me that they know that I want to follow up on.
Well, in the one here is pretty easy. What do you guys each of you like best about the character you're playing? Not the story, because you guys all have awesome stories, but as far as the class itself and the features you've chosen, what do you like best about your character? We'll start with Mike over here.
I like the flexibility I have. So someone at PAX East actually asked me, what characters do I like playing the best? I like playing spellcasters who act kind of like rogues.
Troublemakers.
So yeah, exactly, troublemakers. But I like the flexibility I have in looking at the spells. There's enough give within them, and as a warlock I can use them often enough that I can do things like, when we're talking to the hobgoblins, incorporate the spell into my, it's the rebuke spell I have, it's useful in combat, but I how can I use this in an interaction? So I tell the guy, hey, I'll prove my power, things like that. I also like having disguise self as an at will, because it means, again, it enables some more of that. My character can be kind of deceptive, which I thought was interesting about my character because he's very lawful, but he's also fundamentally devious.
That's an interesting thing, right? So we talk about alignment and how much it really means, and I knew your character was lawful, but you're lying left and right. How does that? He has no problem with that because he's serving.
No, because he's serving
greater laws.
Exactly. I'm not violating any of the canons of the Iron Law, so that's fine. I can do whatever I want, as I don't. And in some ways, it's lawful neutral. Spell. I mean, that's what I kind of liked about it. It's very lawful neutral in the sense I'm not violating these laws, but otherwise I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So I like the internal contradiction.
All right, next, sir, over here.
What I like about my character is two things. I like that even though I'm a druid, I have some flexibility because I happen to have a high dex that I can actually use a bow and arrow as a primary weapon. That feels very different to me from previous editions where I felt much more shoehorned into, no, you have to fight a certain way as a certain class. So I really like that there's that flexibility that I can do that. And I also like the backgrounds. They're great opportunities to help flesh out characters when you get into things like some of their quirks and some of their...
what are your backgrounds on?
I was the Outlander, but I just randomly rolled some really quirky things. Mm-hmm. The only downside of not playing frequently enough is I forget my propensity to knock things over. No. So there's nothing really to knock over in this one, but it feels like I'm
knocking over goblins.
I felt like there's a chance to be knocking over something.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think that adds. I like the way those help give you some direction on how to play the character, as well as just the general flexibility. I had done this too with a magic user with a bow and arrow, which I just thought was really fun.
Cool. All right, Dan. What do you love about Button Waddle's mechanics?
Well, not so much the mechanics, but the personality traits.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that it's sort of like an instant hook to get into a character.
Yeah.
That a lot of times you sort of think of this fantastic thing and it sort of goes by the wayside. You tell your story the first session and it disappears, but this sort of has this constant sort of piece, and the fact that we get bonuses for using those is great. I also like the fact that I could play a halfling and still be a barbarian. He's not effective. He's not like a big damage guy.
No, he's effective. I would say the
he's got a powerhouse of damage.
Yeah, I would say the min-maxing doesn't seem to matter as much. It's not like
if I had
the
a
difference is
half-orc.
huge. Yeah. I felt like just watching the game, I felt like you were plenty effective.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think that's something that you guys did on purpose, right? You didn't. You didn't want it to be like the min-max character to be so much better than the one who just taken some cool, flavorful choices.
So I think the point Tom made about his character, that playing an elf and just getting proficiency with the bow combined with a pretty good dexterity means now you're a good archer. And that's what we really wanted to be. Was the way we kind of thought about it was when you have a starting point. Okay, I'm going to start making my character. Then you have your end point. What do I want my character to be? We wanted to make those steps few in number as possible. So if you want to be a good archer, take a good dexterity. If you can use a bow, you're proficient with a bow, you're now an effective archer. Now, if you want to be an awesome archer, you can go further. But you could be perfectly fine now. Tom and his character until 20th level could use a bow as the primary weapon, in addition to your spell casting, and you would be fine because you'd be getting your attack bonus would be in line because it goes up automatically. If you found a magic bow, or if you now you would be getting say the multiple attacks a fighter would get, but you could look at taking a feat instead of especially at higher level once your stats are where you want them to be, then you could take that path. It's
a lot of my spells are very defensive, so that's was sort of going to be my primary attack. So it sort of flavored the character.
It's funny that example comes up a lot because in a very early playtest a long while ago, that was a character I made. I just had this idea of look, I want to play a cleric, an elf cleric of an outdoorsy kind of deity, and feel like I'm a junior ranger. So I wanted my character to have a bow, and I wanted my character to be good at woodland lore and good at perception. And that was kind of one of the things we kind of did, that's kind of a prototype of saying, well, we want the system to be able to do this, where we ended up with saying, okay, with my background, I can very quickly get there. And elves, being these kind of outdoorsy characters, well, we will give them bows for free, because then that kind of makes you feel, okay, yeah, if you're a forest character, a bow is like your hunting weapon or whatever. Makes sense. Plus, elves have good dexterity. So that was kind of nice that was a very early playtest. I mean, that was probably back 2 years ago. But being able to just kind of, this has been, we weren't really even using a system per se at that stage. It was more just like, well, what do you want your character to have? That was a lot of it, it's kind of coming down with the feel stuff. And we ended up with saying, okay, now what I would do is I'd take elf, take cleric, probably take some sort of nature domain. I can't remember if that's design, but whatever. And then take a background that fit and say, okay, I want perception, I want nature, and that feels pretty good for my character. Maybe take like the Outlander background or something, and I'd feel like I'm an outdoorsy cleric. I'm a cleric with a bow, wearing leather armor, who's pretty stealthy, and I can be the scout, and I can be the guy who's tracking.
And the racial traits really feel like they add quite a bit to the mechanics of play. They're not just there for flavor.
Yeah, that's definitely what we want. If we put it, basically the rule is if we're putting a mechanic on your character sheet, we want it to be noticeable. We want it to be something like, oh, this is really making a difference to my character. It's not just like +1 to basket weaving while underwater, where it's like, well, when's that really going to come into play? So.
And I know you didn't play anybody over there, Greg, but you kind of played a whole bunch of people. Is there anything you want to say about this adventure, as far as the D&D Next stuff goes, or anything that really sticks out that you want to point out to people?
I think this was a really great adventure because it combines a sandbox feel with a still fairly coherent narrative across all of the locations. So had you guys had the time to explore all of these locations, it starts to become more clear that everything is tied together.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool approach. It's very different from the next adventure, Dead and Thay, which I'm also super excited about, having worked closely with the team that did Vault of the Dracolich, which was our big interactive adventure for game day last year. Dead and Thay is sort of that taken to 11 because it's 109 rooms in which 4 groups can participate in an all-out assault in the dungeon. So while I liked this adventure, I'm also very excited to see what's ahead next.
And so I think that speaks to our adventure design approach going forward is we want to have a diverse cast. We don't want to say, here's the one format and then follow it. So we might do a sandbox, then we might do a giant dungeon, then we might do something that's more scripted, where it's more like, well, here's a storyline you're following.
Murder mystery or...
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit about Vault of the Dracolich and Dead and Thay in chat. Tails was in chat. And so we were talking about that as well. And I recently read through it to prepare for some of the things that are going on, and it looks pretty awesome. So,
yeah. And if we do end up doing that as part of the stream, we won't be able to fully capture the awesomeness of having 4 groups participate.
Yeah.
But even if you're just looking for a cool dungeon crawl, I think it serves well for a single group.
Definitely. Alright, thanks guys. Everybody who's watching, thank you. We are planning on trying to put together one of these for Dead and Thay, but we haven't finalized all those details. So as soon as we know more, we'll let you know. And yeah, thanks again for joining us.
Yep.
Thank you.